So I'm out here at a job today in Kellyville for a customer who's with TPG. They're on fibre to the node and they've been having constant dropout issues, up to 10 dropouts a day. And they've been having that problem ever since they've had NBN, which has been probably for the last three or so years. TPG apparently sent out one of their technicians to come and take a look. And he was here for about an hour, ran a few tests, and said that he couldn't find any problem out in the street. And then basically TPG now has advised the customer to find a private tech to come out and check the internals. So I'm here today to try and work out what is going on. Now you can see I'm at the NBN box here at the side of the house, and I've separated the internal cabling, which I've got here with my alligator clips, and then the network cabling here, okay? So I've got my lines test set number 2 connected to it. I'm going to do an insulation resistance test on the mega ohm range, and you can see when I switch to that, it's all within specifications, okay? Now I'm going to go in, check his sockets, just to make sure, or check the main socket to make sure there's no discoloration or anything like that on the socket. But the lines test set is testing through all the cabling and the sockets at the same time. So if there is any problem, it will show up here generally. Now, one weird thing of note that I will say is that the customer's cabling, now it's in a cul-de-sac, okay? The customer's cabling comes to here, and then this is the end of this run, okay, this pit. And then the 2 pair shoots off down this way. Now I've gone down, popped open the next pit, and there's no joint. And then I've gone down to the next pit and I've popped out, there's no joint. But all the cabling from the 3rd pit down is running back in this direction, okay? And the cabling from here is running down in that direction, but there's no joints, okay? So somewhere between the 3rd pit down there and the customer's pit over here, there might be a buried joint somewhere, okay? A buried, like an old pit or something like that with an old joint in it. So we can't find that. I've walked around, have a look. So I just wanted to see if there was any bag joints or anything like that visible that I could see that could have been a problem, okay? So what I'll do now is I'm going to go inside. I'm going to check the socket just to make sure there's no problem with that. Now, when I tested with my ADSL tester, I was getting an excellent reading. It was also giving me 30 megabits down, and it was like 15 or something up, and the maximum you get here was 77 and 30 up. So it seems as if it's okay on this end. So this is an intermittent fault. Now the customer also told me when it does happen, if he turns his router off and then turns it back on again, it comes back on straight away. So usually that denotes there's a problem with the router, but this is the second router that he's got from, he's got a D-Link Taipan, which isn't a cheap router. It's a really good one. So it might not be that, which generally I would point towards, but because he's had a replacement from D-Link, I doubt that that's the case. So I'll just go check his sockets, but I think that yeah, this is probably going to be a network issue, because as you can see, insulation resistance on line test set number 2 is fine. So also noticed here that one of the sockets a customer's got is an old Telstra, it'd have a ADSL filter in it. So I'm going to disconnect this because they don't use it, they're only using that one main socket. But this could potentially be part of the problem, because it will have circuitry in it that the data service will be running through, which it doesn't need. So we're going to disconnect this as well, just see what happens.